Okay, so in this worksheet, we are going to be practicing writing the equation in point slope form using a point and a slope. And then we'll even be graphing from equations that are given to us in point slope form, and then we will be able to determine what our point slope form is from a graph. Okay, so starting with number 1, so here we're given 2, 7, and the slope being -4. So of course, let's go ahead and just write our equation up here. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So that's what I'm using. So here is x1, this is y1, and of course that's my m. So that means this one would be y minus 7 equals -4 times x minus 2. Okay, so same thing for number 2. We're given a point and a slope, so we're going to put it in our point slope form. So again, x and y, and we have our m. So I have y minus 5 equals my slope, -3 times x minus my x value, which is 12. And so that would be our equation for that one. Okay, going on to number 3. I have x, I have y, so therefore it would be y minus, but you see how I have a -5 here? So if I were to say y minus -5, this would actually become a y plus 5 equals 6 times x minus 4. All right, let's move on to number 4. So here's my x, here's my y. And now I have y minus, but it's going to become a plus because my y value is negative. So y plus 2 equals 3 times x. And the same thing is going to happen here. My minus is going to become a plus because my x value is negative as well. So y plus 2 equals 3 times x plus 6. Okay, let's go to number 5. So again, let's count x and y. So now I know it's going to be y minus, but it's going to become plus because that's a -6. So y plus 6 equals my slope, which is 1/2 times x minus 7. Okay, number 6. Here's my x, here's my y. So now I'm going to say I have y minus 2 equals negative, because my slope is -3/4 times x, and it's going to become a plus since I have a -8 here, so x plus 8. Okay, so now let's go down to the next section where we're going to graph the equations below. So we're already given the equation in point slope form. So to graph it, we first want to identify our slope. So m equals -3/1. And I want to go ahead and put that 1 under there to create my fraction. So I know that I'm going to be moving down 3 and 1 to the right. And then I'm just going to pull my points out. So this is my x value. But since I have a plus 2 here, I know this is going to be a -2. And then the same thing for my y value here. Since this is a plus 4, that means I have a -4. So now I'm ready to graph it. So I start off at -2, -4. And then I would go down 3 and to the right 1, so I'd be about right here. And then going up, we would be going backwards, so we're going to go up 3, 1 to the left, and then up 3, 1 to the left, and again up 3, 1 to the left. And so our graph would look something like this. Okay, let's go on to number 8. So here I have a slope of -2, and I'm going to go ahead and make that -2/1 so that I have my fraction. So I know that since it's a negative, I'm going to go down 2 and 1 to the right. And then my point, my x value is going to be 2, and my y value will be -3 since I have a plus 3 here. So starting at 2, -3, I'm going to go down 2, 1 to the right. And that's really as far as I can go. So now I'm going to go backwards, starting at that same point that I started at before. I'm going to go up 2, 3 to the left, up 2, 3 to the left, and that's really as far as I can go. So that's what my graph would look like there. Okay, let's go to number 9. So here I can tell that m is 3 over 1. And again, it is 3, but I'm putting it in fraction form so I can graph it. So this time I know I'm going to go up 3 and 1 to the right since my slope is positive. And then my x value is negative 6 since this is a plus 6. And then my y value is 1. So starting at negative 6, 1, so I'd have to go about right here. I know I'm going to go up 3 and 1 to the right, and that's really all I can do on that. Okay, number 10. So now I have that m equals negative 5 over 2. So I know since it's negative, I'm going down 5 and right 2. And then my starting point is going to be my x value is 3 and my y value is negative 4. Again, since this is y plus 4, I know this 4 is a negative, or my y value is negative. So starting at 3, negative 4, well, I'm supposed to go down 5, but I can't go down 5. So this time I'm just going to start going backwards by 1, 2, 5, and then over 2 to the left, and then I'm going up 5, and then 2 to the left. So my graph would look like this. Okay, so let's go on to the next section. This time we're given the graph, and so we want to write the equation in point slope form. So what I need to do first is find my slope. So it's already got 2 perfect points plotted out for me. Now I can also tell that I have a negative slope here because my slope is going down. So I can say m equals, I know it's going to be negative. So first I can see it's going down 1. So that's going to be 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 1 over 4. And then this point right here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 0.43. So that's what I'm going to use to write my equation. So then I would have y minus my y value, which is 3, equals, here's my slope, negative 1 over 4 times x minus my x value, which is 4, and there's my equation. Okay, let's go on to number 12. Same thing, they've already got 2 perfect points already found for us, so now we just can use these to find our slope. This time I can tell that I have a positive slope, so m equals, I'm going up, what, 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, so you could say 3 over 1 or just 3. And then I'm just going to use this point right here, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is 2, comma, negative 2. So therefore my equation would be y, and I would say minus, but since I have a negative 2 here, I'm going to say plus 2 equals my slope, 3, times x minus my x value, which is 2. This is supposed to be a 3. Okay. So going on to number 13. So I'm going to use this point and this point that they've already found for me. And I can see that we are going up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So m equals 3 over 6. And since both of these are divisible by 3, I can reduce this to 1 over 2. So that's my slope. And then I'm just going to use this point right here, which is 1, comma, negative 1. So my equation would be y plus 1, since my y value is negative, equals 1/2, which is my slope, times x minus, and then my x value, which is 1. Okay. All right, so now in this last part, we are going to write our equation in point slope form given just 2 points. So this is where we have to find our slope. So we want to create a table, x, y, so 4, 7, 5, 1. So here is where you could either go to stat edit and find your slope that way, or we can just do delta y over delta x, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. So to go from 7 to 1, I know I'm going down 6, and to go from 4 to 5, I'm going up 1. So therefore m equals negative 6 over 1, which just equals negative 6. And then I'm just going to use this point right here, because it doesn't matter which point I used. And with that point, I would have y minus 1, because that's my y value, equals my slope, which is negative 6, times x minus 5, which is my x value. Okay, number 15. Again, we're going to draw a table, since we're given these 2 points. 9, negative 2, 3, I'm sorry, negative 3, 2. So again, you could use stat edit to find your slope, but we're just going to do the delta y over delta x. So from negative 2 to 2, I know I'm going up 4. And from 9 to negative 3, I know I'm going down 12. So therefore, my m would equal negative 4 over 12. And I know these are both divisible by 4, which means I would have a slope of negative 1 over 3. And then I'm just going to use this point right here. So my equation would be y minus 2, which is my y value, equals my slope, negative 1 over 3 times x. And then since my x value is negative, I'm going to say plus 3. Okay, last one. Okay, again, we're going to take our 2 points. We're going to make a table. I'm going to do delta y over delta x, so negative 8 to negative 2, that is plus 6. And then from 3 to 7 is plus 4. So that means m equals 6 over 4. And I know that both of these numbers are divisible by 2, so I'm going to reduce this to 3 over 2. And then I'm just going to use this point right here. So then I would have y plus 2, since y is negative, equals my slope, 3 over 2 times x minus 7, which is my x value. And that's it.